Hey VQ, welcome to the spring phase of Vision Quest Intensity, and this is going to be all about teaching you guys about threshold power or climbing power. I'm going to let Jason, our director of coaching here at Vision Quest, talk a little bit about what you're going to expect during the phase, but I want to break it down a little bit further. I want to talk about what threshold actually is. FTP, your functional threshold power, 95% of that 20-minute test. It's really the power you can sustain for an hour. If you're doing an Olympic distance triathlon, it's pretty much really close to the effort you'll do that entire Olympic distance triathlon at. If you're doing a 40K time trial on the road, that's the power system that we're going to be focusing on. It's the same power system you use when you climb big, long mountains like those guys in the Tour de France. Now, the last phase was strength endurance. We really worked on one of the aspects of threshold power, which is pushing hard or building the strength. That's a foundation component for developing threshold. Now, Jason's going to talk about how we're going to develop threshold over these next 8 weeks.
The intervals that we'll face in this next 8 weeks are all going to be longer sustained intervals, similar to the muscular endurance focused strength endurance intervals we did in the past phase. They're going to be anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes long. We're going to have 30 to 45 minutes of total threshold in a workout. And we're going to approach that in some different ways, including variances in cadence, variances in power at the top. Most of them will be fairly steady, but some of them will include some harder efforts and mix that up a little bit. And we're also going to approach it through different modes of training. We're going to use some that will be controlled load, others will be time and grade, some will combine courses with controlled load workouts for reference points, and then we'll also do some loads in manual workout or manual mode on the trainer, so that you'll have all these different experiences as you train the threshold. You'll be very aware of that number. But the key thing through all of it is that we're going to spend a lot of time in that threshold zone. So all of these intervals that we'll do, for the most part, will be right around 95 to 100% of your threshold value. And as Robbie said, that's sort of your hour power, 95% of that 20-minute number, and then we take a little bit off of that at the early part of the phase, and then hopefully grow up closer to that 100% near the end of the phase.
Now, if you guys have done Vision Quest threshold training before, we've used basically controlled load up until this point. I love that Drew from Perf Pro has come up with a really cool way to change the methods that we're going to attack that threshold energy system. So we're going to allow you guys to have great days when you're having great days, and if you're not having such a good day, hopefully you can still benefit and work the threshold system because of the way we're configuring some of the intervals and using some of the different modalities that Perf Pro allows. So have fun in threshold phase. I think it's one of the most important systems that we can grow this time of year. It's going to set you up for a great season.